I was involved in a consulting engagement from November 2009 until March 2010 to help identify ways to improve testing at an organization that felt that testing could be improved dramatically. This is an organization you probably all know, and so I won't name names. I'm not going to try to give any hints about it, or even crazy puns that might lead to this. I hope I don't anyhow. But when I did the analysis, I like to look at 3 projects. I want to take one project that really went well, an example of excellence. And I want to take one project that really screwed up, an example of something that was a dismal failure, and another project which they would consider a typical project. I do a detailed task analysis of this. I interview many people. It takes months and months. I do this with assistants, research assistants. We audit, we audio tape the interviews. We look very deeply and carefully at this whole thing. In the end, I come up with certain recommendations and some practices that they're doing that I think are really cool. And because they had so many projects going on, there were practices in one project that were working great and failing in others. There was a lot of things because the company was built up by amalgamation. The story really is of the worst project, the one that they picked. Everybody said, Rob, if you want to look at an example of a failed project, pick this one. So let's say it's Project GS. I went into Project GS. I looked at it, and it was all, this is all implemented with their flavor of Scrum, very anti-agile Scrum, but Scrum nonetheless. And I went from the beginning to the end through the turmoil. They had a metrics system. They collected, because they had so many different projects from different teams, they had a metrics committee. The metrics committee had decided on a series of metrics that they would use to measure these projects, and the metrics committee followed these on a weekly basis. This project was red every single week, except on occasional it was yellow. Now they had a fixed delivery date in the year, and they had beta testing, but basically this project was failing. They actually had, during this project, fired people, reorganized departments, dramatically had to change the way things were done to try to bring this project out of the red. It was truly a failed project by every measure that they had. And this project basically was something that I studied very carefully because it was one of the 3. And I did find some practices in there that I found a bit absurd, and I sort of suggested changes and all this type of stuff. I made my recommendations, made my reports, and the job was done from my perspective, except for some follow-up I promised to do. A subsequent date, a couple of months after my mandate, I'm called in. They're going to present my stuff to the exec, but they're presenting it, not me, so I'm to coach the people presenting it. Fine gig for a consultant if you can get it. Went in there. As I was in there, an administrative person came and running into the meeting room and was excited and excited and excited. And I didn't even know why. And this person says, Project GS just won the industry award for the product of the year in their industry. Their customers loved it. They basically broke grounds in every technological feat possible in this thing. And the product that was the product in red, this ugly duckling product, the one that was the failure by all accounts, the one that people lost their livings because they were fired, was the product of the year in their industry sector. Written about, incredible accolades by the user community, by the industry community. What is this? What is the story of? I'll tell you the story of. This is a story of absurd and failed metrics. It is absurd. Not one of their metrics paid any consideration to what actual users cared about. What people valued in their industry was innovation, not nuance. They wanted breakthroughs. They wanted the next generation of the universe. And that's what the developers were trying to do. And because what they were doing was so foreign from the paradigm of these obtuse metrics programs, they basically were like, need I say, a rebel alliance. A group of people fighting against the establishment and trying to survive. Now this story is not over. I'm trying to figure out ways to work. I have the metrics information. I have the data. I know the people. There's lessons to be learned. I haven't finished learning them. Because when I did my analysis, I treated this as the failed project. And quite frankly, I think I should have treated this as the excellent project. End of story.
7 seconds to go.